Well, today is a milestone shave because we're going to put shave number 130 on my Nacet today. 50 dots on this side, 70 plus 8 on that side, plus 9, sorry. And so 130, how about that? I've got my roughest of the Boar brushes that I've been using lately. This is the Omega 10098, I believe. And it is more like a broom than a brush. Actually, that's a little inaccurate. It's not prickly anymore. It started that way. Didn't take too long to get unprickly. I think we're on its 8th use now, so that's not bad, really. So we shouldn't expect too much out of some of the Boar brushes out there. Now the Zenith and the 3 Simogs that I've been working with in this cycle, they have been just getting exceptional quickly, but not all of them are that way. And so we shouldn't put down this guy just because he's slower. All right, just because he rides the blue bus. This is the soap for today. I've been wanting to try out this scent for a while, and this is old, so it might be a little weaker than the current version, but let's use it. I got it used. There's not too much in the tub here. It's all kind of hollowed out a little bit there, but it's got a neat smell. Let's try it out. And of course, L&L Grooming and Chatillon Luxe were the folks that combined to make this one. I believe, CL would have made the scent, and then L&L Grooming would have been the one who made the soap base. Well, L&L Grooming has changed up, and they joined with Declaration Brushworks to be Declaration Grooming. And so right now, this kind of stuff is found at Declaration Grooming. Great soaps, great shaving brushes, all kinds of good stuff there. All right, so I have not bloomed it or anything like that. And I'm using that little dish method where I only go to this faucet when I want to do a rinse between passes. That will actually fill up my little mini bowl here, and it's in my sink. And I'll use that for rinsing of my razor. I'm really liking that. I've been doing that for a few shaves now. What else do we have? As usual, my Gillette vintage razor, a Sheraton. It's an open comb, as you can see. And it has the geometry that just works with this blade being this old. My more mild razors, it's a much more roughly performing blade at this age that's just so harsh, it's not even worth doing. But with this one, somehow, it just works for me. There may be a razor out there that's different that may work for you for getting one this high. Don't know what it would be. All right, lather bowl as well, right here, 3D printed bowl. Just heard from a user today that they had gone online. I'll provide a link. Roger Quintero is the guy who designed this, and I'll give you a link in my description where you can get the files if you want. And he grabbed the files, he picked the size he wanted, and this is the XL, 140 milliliters from the inside lip of this top thing here. He sent it into a service. I'm asking him which one because the price that he had was like $48 or something, and I believe that's to have it made and then shipped to you, and that is a lower price probably than many custom ceramic bowls. So, and here you get kind of exactly something that you might want. So I think it's pretty neat, and I think it's kind of a fair price for the service they're making. I imagine over the years that kind of service will probably diminish somewhat as this technology becomes more commonplace. All right. I've already splashed a little water on my face prior to, and so now let us go ahead and load the brush with the soap. We'll get most of the water off of the brush. A big old long booger. I even have it was starting to splay, and I wanted to kind of rein it in a little bit, so I didn't put an O-ring right there. All right, 50, we'll start at 50 seconds. We'll do a 30-second load, so that'll be stopping at 20 seconds. paused a little bit there, so we'll stop at like 22 seconds. Getting a little bubbly. Still a good bit of L&L scents soaps out there on the used market for sure. Very good provider. 2 more seconds and there we go. Alright, so a good bit of watery lather. Soap is seen. It's not just staying at the tips and all that. That's a neat scent. Alright, then we'll just go right to the shaving bowl with it. Now, as you can see, I like a large shaving bowl. And the reason why is because I can be down here mixing and the lather that I have generated is staying up here, or it's staying away from the brush. There are other bowls that don't give you enough room to have both your brush in there mixing and then the lather up there as well. So I prefer this size. And that's neat, just the amount of the water that was in this brush was enough to, put together this early dry lather here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of water in, because I'm sure we're going to need more water than what's in there right now. A teaspoon will just kind of help us get jump started. I don't think that L&L is I'm guessing that it's not a soap that needs to be slowly brought up, where adding water too soon would hamper your efforts. It's looking good. Some interesting scent coming through there. Almost like tire rubber or something like that. That's a neat, very masculine scent. And this is a fairly new brush with just 7 uses on it. And so if we do get the occasional bristle, like I just pulled off of it right there, that's not a problem. 50 or 60 uses is where I start to be concerned if I'm still losing bristles. Some brushes are just that way, and I don't mind, because otherwise it would be the maker having to comb through and try to find those bristles and get them out, and you're paying for that, so I don't mind doing it myself. Looking good. As usual with these boars, my break-in policy for these, since they're so young, has been soaking for an hour or 2 or 3 before the shave, and I was able to soak this one for maybe 2 hours. I really kind of want to soak this one more in a way because it's just slower to develop. If we get to the end of a month or maybe a month and a half and this one is still kind of needs more break-in, I might switch to an accelerated technique, like some guys are using blow dryers after your after a shave, or after a good long soaking, you kind of dry it gradually with a blow dryer, and that will help the tips to really split quickly. Another thing they're doing is mix up a batch of lather and then just sit it and leave it overnight, or leave it for 24 hours. And that can help the process as well. I'm choosing something a little bit more conservative to maybe see if I'm going to be more gentle on my brushes, perhaps. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. All right, well, let's take a look at this. As you can see, look at that. Look at the peaks. Look at the texture. See those ridges right there? Now usually, if the ridges are able to hold their structure like that, then usually that means I like it where it needs more water than that. With most soaps, that means that it's not quite hydrated enough. So let's give it some more water. I've used a couple of L&L soaps before. Great performance. See, in this bowl, there's plenty enough room for me to stir this lather any which way I want, and I don't have to worry about it overflowing. There we go. Now it's still fairly firm, but look, some of those contours have kind of smoothed out a little bit. Now, not every soap requires that attribute. So let's put just a little bit more. We'll mix this in, and now we'll do a finger test and kind of see. Also, a larger bowl lets me do larger circles. The Captain's Choice bowl, the fine lather bowl, the fine accoutrements lather bowl, kind of require, because of their shallowness, that you do smaller circles to avoid knocking your soap out. Well, trying to do small circles to me stresses me out. It's almost like typing or something like that, where it's a repetitive motion. I feel like I'm going to get carpal tunnel or something. Alright, oh, this lather's looking good. Yeah, look at that, a little bit of elasticity there. Yeah, yeah. Bloop. Alright, let's do a little finger check. Decent cushion. It's fairly light though when I'm moving across my fingerprints. I do feel a little bit the ridges. Let's put just a little bit more water in, and I think that'll be it. I think that's probably good enough. Oh yeah, look at that. That's good. Probably good. You know, hopefully the soap is not one that needs to kind of be mixed a little drier than usual. I don't think it is, but I may be wrong. But that's all right. We can just go back to the tub if we need more soap. All right. One more rinse. I moved a dryer 2 days ago. Today my arms were super sore, so I can feel it. I can feel it today. Had to lug it up some stairs and all that. Kind of looks like it's a little too dry. Let's add some more water. So I'm refilling the syringe now. So I've added 2.5 teaspoons of water to the lather. With this one, the bristles are so long, I kind of have to keep a little bit more pressure to make it splay so that I'm not, let me see if I can do it for you. Like right here, no, actually that's working okay. bristles kind of follow me around instead of staying in splay, and so it's a little different. Okay, let's see how we're feeling here, how the lather's looking. I like this scent. That sharp note that I was telling you about, like rubber or something like that. That's the dominant one for me, and I like it. I think it's cool. It may be tar, or something like that. Lather looks good on my face. I did this kind of swipe, and it's not really clumpy or anything, so I think we're probably good there. All right. Now we can get the razor wet in the bowl instead of having to constantly turn the faucet on and off. This is, I mean, it's just even, it's barely tugging. Sometimes it feels like it tugs a little bit more than other times. Maybe that's because of the soap, or, you know, I'm not real sure. But it feels pretty comfortable right now. Not having to endure anything, just for the sake of seeing how far this blade will go. And then the second and third passes are going to be no tugging at all, just very nice and slick. There we go. All right, now rinse. Okay, add a little water to my lather. Look at that. Look how that peak falls over. I think that's how this particular base likes to have it. All right, second pass. This one still does the brush, irritates my skin just a little, so if I'm using a razor that's aggressive, I will usually pick another brush instead of this one. At least while it's this young. I'm sure it will improve. Remember the first time I used a Boar brush, and I bought it off recommendations from Amazon, but hadn't heard about the break-in process. And so it was just junk the first couple of times. It was a Samog, and it took about 13 uses or something like that before it became awesome. But then after that, it's just great. I was very surprised and ticked off. I thought it was me. I wasn't doing something right. All right. Nice slick lather we have here. And rinse. All right, one tip is if you have overwatered your lather a little bit, maybe you've made some adjustments, well, take your towel and dab off your skin after you rinse between passes, and that will cause your lather to, in effect, be a little drier, as it has to hydrate your skin too. Sometimes that can make it a lot creamier. A big boss of a brush, and I thought even if I don't like the knot, I like this handle, and so I could rehome, yank out this knot and put something nicer in if I wanted to. So I'm interested to see how this knot behaves. I'm sure it'll be fine. So I like this scent. It's mostly that, it's mostly that rubbery birch tar or whatever type scent, which I like a lot. Okay, so I guess this is the third pass. This is just such a smooth blade, but it still cuts. It still cuts nicely. Just feels great on this third pass. When you take blades this far, though, a friend of mine who jumped ahead of me in the use count here recently, because I paused, and he stopped and he went back to a younger blade, and he realized that he had gotten into some habits, and I think it was a little bit rough for him because he was used to such a smooth blade. All right, rinse time. Excellent result again today. I don't see any length on any of the tips in my little trouble zone here, and so that means great. Really nice around the cheeks, of course. It's always how it is. Got plenty of lather, so the 30 seconds is an overkill. With this particular soap, very economical soap. You don't have to load it for quite as long as some others. This is just a tremendous lather. Really happy with this one. I did dab my skin and kind of dry it off for this one, and that kind of made it about perfect. Very nice, very nice. So, the scent, let's see if I can pick up anything else. No, I mean, I didn't look up the scent profile on this one, but that's all I can really tell is that birch tar type scent that I've been telling you about, and that's all right. You know, you can't. I really like it. Chiseled Face also makes a pine tar scent or something like that, and so it's something that some guys really enjoy, and I'm one of them. So I like it. So we'll keep on cleaning up here. I added to the soap 3 teaspoons of water, and that was with a 30-second load. And so I could definitely reduce that maybe to a 20-second load, and then reduce the water ratio adequately. So for this brush, as it ages, it's a Boar, and so you're going to see it do 2 things. The bristles will start opening up, splaying, if you will. Looking, instead of going more vertical, they'll start kind of going out like this. And that's really good in many cases, because it means the knot will hold more soap. For you face latherers, it means that you'll be able to fit more soap in the knot, and you won't have to go back to the tub perhaps. Maybe you can get it to go 3 passes instead of just 2, which is kind of typical for a lot of Boars. Second thing that a Boar is going to have happen is the tips are going to start splitting, and you can undoubtedly see a few here that have already started to split. It's not nearly as many as some of the other brushes that I have, but they are going to do that, and that will make the brush feel softer. And since I have an O-ring on here, I think that's an indication that I'm not really interested in having this guy splay out too much. But I am interested in getting that splitting going. So I strop this up and down on the towel to help to dry it out, and to just kind of agitate it and work it a little bit. There's another dry brush method of breaking in a Boar, and I think you just have the brush next to you at work or whatever, on your desk or while you're watching TV, and just kind of work it even when it's dry. I'm choosing not to go that route. I'm going to just work, yeah, look at, okay, you see there's a couple of guys right up here that have split, yep, they have split tips. And so you want to see a lot of that. All right, so that's a Boar brush for you. And then different brushes will take different time periods to get to that same point. So here is L&L. Those soaps are going to start disappearing as people use them up, as people sell them, as people throw them away, because maybe they want to embrace something new. New makers like Summer Break soaps, Noble Otter. There's some Oleo, I think it's been around for a while. Is really good. Grooming department's great. They've been around for a while too. There's some new guys. There's one other one that I really, Storybook Soapworks is really good. And so then you got new bases coming out. And Barrister and Mann has the new Excelsior base. It's been out for a few months now. And Noble Otter has another version that they've come out with recently. The is it Holy Cow? Buffalo base. I haven't tried that one yet. And so you can be, with all this new development, you can be tempted when you're looking at an old soap like this guy. It's from a company that's passed. However, performance was excellent. There's just the new goodness, the new hotness. It reminds me of back when I used to read motorcycle magazines, and they would have a sport bike comparison. Yamaha, the big four, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, and who was the one else? Suzuki. And they'd have the super bikes, you know, and they would race them. They'd get out there and they'd talk about the minutia and all the little differences. But in the end, all four bikes would let you have a blast. And you just have such a good experience, and the differences are just so small, and that's how it is with this. The differences in performance. This was a great soap. I enjoyed the passes between, the rinsing. It was nice and luxurious, creamy and enjoyable. And so don't feel bad if you've got a soap like this at home that treats you well. Just enjoy it. You know, now if you've got the purse to go ahead and just, you know, buy every little thing that comes along, then maybe donate or sell some of your old stuff to a user who likes, like me, that likes to buy used stuff, then you can really help them out. And so that's cool too. But enjoy this kind of stuff as well, because it still can give you a lot of delight. And so enjoy what you have, and try not to be swayed, influenced by the avarice, the desire to get the latest in the hotness, because this is a really good soap, and there are others like it that are a little bit older, and they still do great, and they make you feel like a king anyway. Well, since we're dealing with a milestone here, I thought I'd show you the blade. 130 uses now, and here is that pretty good looking top side. Gently, carefully flip it around, and all I did was pat it a little bit, pat it dry gently. Here is the business side, and you can see the little bit of the staining from all the use, and then down here on the bottom part is the X that I put with a Sharpie in the very beginning. And so this is what we're using. And then at the end, when I feel like I'm done with this guy, I'm going to flip it over and see if I get some improved shave or some different feeling, or since it's the same edge, no matter which way it's flipped, if it feels exactly the same. Post-shave feel has been excellent. It just feels great. Our skin feels soft. No irritation today. No tightness after the shave. Nothing like that. Very good, very good. So that's 130 down. I really like this scent. And so tomorrow we will have a new razor to try. We'll slip in a new blade, maybe my feather that's got about 22 uses on it. But we'll put something new, play around a little bit with some of my other razors, and then we'll, at some point, we'll jump back on the train and we'll march from 130 all the way to 150, I think. Pretty wild. All right. Excellent shave all the way around. No tugging, almost no tugging. Definitely no tugging that would be uncomfortable. No irritation, no cuts. Even that usual red mark I get right here isn't really there. Nice result. Just really happy all the way around here. I hope there was something here for you with this shave. I'll throw on some of that witch hazel. Kind of feel like doing that tonight. And that'll be it. I don't think I need any other kind of post shave with this one. And so that speaks well to the soap as well. So I hope you enjoyed something. Take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.